Hey everyone. The biggest money myths women over 40 believe. If you're a single woman over 40, I want to talk about some of the money stories you might be telling yourself. Things like, I've left it too late. I should own a house by now. I'll never be able to do this on one income. Or the big one, everyone else seems to have their finances sorted except me. Trust me, they don't. So let's bust a few of the biggest money myths I hear from single women over 40. Myth number one, I've left it too late to buy a home. Oh my God, nothing's working today. This is probably the biggest one. Maybe you're 45, 52, or even 60 and thinking, what's the point? I should have done this 20 years ago or more. But your age by itself doesn't automatically stop you from getting a home loan. When what lenders are interested in is whether you can afford the loan, how much you're borrowing, and particularly as you're getting closer to retirement, whether there's a reasonable strategy for eventually repaying it. That strategy might include super, downsizing, or investments or other assets selling. So don't reject yourself before you've even spoken to someone who understands lending. Find out what's actually possible first. So myth number two, I need a partner to afford a property. No, you need a plan. No, I'm not going to pretend that doing this on one income is easy. You have one income supporting the mortgage and the bills and everything else. And your borrowing capacity may be lower than a couple earning two incomes. But that doesn't mean you can't buy. It might mean changing the type of property you're looking at, or considering a different suburb, or buying something smaller, or simply giving yourself another year or two to get financially ready. The goal might be to buy right the first time. It should be to buy the right first property for this stage of life. Myth number three, I should be further ahead financially by now. This one needs to go, really. Life doesn't happen in a nice straight line, trust me. Maybe you've raised children, maybe you've separated, maybe you've spent years working part-time, maybe you've helped family financially, or changed careers, or started again after a relationship ended. Comparing yourself with someone who bought a house with their partner at 25 isn't particularly useful. The important question is, where should I be? It's where am I now, and what's the smartest thing I can do from here? That's a much more useful conversation. Myth number four, I need to pay off every debt before applying for a home loan. Not necessarily. Some debts can absolutely reduce your borrowing capacity, particularly things like credit cards. Personal loans, car loans, they can too, but they're probably more manageable because it's a fixed repayment. That doesn't automatically mean you should empty your savings account trying to clear everything before you get a loan. Sometimes keeping a cash buffer is more valuable, and sometimes reducing a credit card limit can make a huge difference. Sometimes paying out a particular debt can significantly improve your borrowing capacity. The trick is knowing which move actually helps before you make it. Myth number five, rent means I'm throwing money away. I really dislike this one because it makes people feel like they're failing, and renting can be the right financial decision for the moment. If you're newly single, rebuilding savings, changing careers, or simply not ready to commit to a property, renting can give you flexibility. Buying a property you can't comfortably afford just because you're frightened of wasting money on rent can be a far more expensive mistake. The aim isn't to own a home at any cost. It's to build financial security. Myth number six, it's too late for me to build wealth. Absolutely not. You may have fewer working years ahead of you than someone who's 25, but you may also be earning more than you did when you were 25. You probably know yourself better. You may be clearer about what you actually want. And you're hopefully less interested in keeping up with everybody else. Your strategy at 45 or 55 is going to look different from someone's strategy at 25. Different doesn't mean worse. If you're a single woman over 40, the biggest mistake you can make isn't starting late. It's doing nothing because you're convinced it's already too late. You don't need to have everything figured out today. Start with your numbers. What do you earn? What do you owe? What have you saved? What could you realistically afford? And what would your life look like in 5, 10, or 15 years? And once you know that, you can start building a plan around your life, not someone else's timeline. And you might be pleasantly surprised by what's actually possible.